Dr. Veronica Esagui is your host for Authors Forum.
Easiest Pie at Bobby's Diner is definitely a murder mystery.
Yes.
Okay, it takes you by about less than half through, you go into this suspense and you can't let go. It just stays with you. No, I mean, really. So I would classify this as a murder mystery with lots of suspense. How would you classify Drowning?
I would classify Drowning as suspenseful women's fiction. There's not that mystery element. There's not that murder that's taking place. So those things are absent. But definitely it's about two women, a mother and a daughter, and their pretty much tumultuous relationship. And so that right there classifies it as women's fiction, the relationship between two women.
With Drowning, I could understand why it was called Drowning. But with Easiest Pie at Bobby's Diner, why Easiest Pie? Because I did read one page that I got the feeling that I knew why. So maybe we shouldn't even mention why.
No, it's okay. It's not a spoiler. There's one point where one of the bad guys says, "Oh, come on, it would be a piece of cake." And is that what you're thinking about?
Pie,
yeah. So that's why we titled it that.
So are you married?
I am, amazingly, with all those animals.
I was just going to, wondering about all the animals. But you live on an island.
Yes, and we have 5 acres.
5 acres, okay, so they have space.
They do have space. We don't anymore because of all the animals. I always tell people that we live among the animals, not the other way around. So, but we love it. And I truly am amazed, though, that someone decided that he wanted to marry me with all those animals, because they didn't all happen. Oh, yeah, isn't that funny? Amazing to me, amazing. But he is truly an angel. And he right now is on a golfing trip in Kelowna, Canada.
Wow.
I don't know where that is, but he says it's gorgeous. So
north.
It's north. That's right.
This kind of got me, my curiosity, and that's why I'm going to ask you. At the end of Drowning, you mentioned about coffee, how to make Turkish coffee, Lebanese coffee. And then at Easiest Pie at Bobby's Diner, you talk about how, recipes on chewy butterscotch fingers and it's like first prize recipe #1 cornmeal. What made you do that to the end of the books?
Well, the Bobby's Diner series, because it's Georgette Carlisle's diner, it just felt like there should be some sort of food element to it, and we do speak about certain food in the stories themselves. With Drowning, so that's why I did it with this one. With Drowning, however, I just loved the research that I was doing on the coffee. There's a scene where they're in Lebanon, and there's the coffee scene, and there were a number of just elements where she's holding the coffee and the cream was swirling in the coffee, and I wanted to bring that to the book as well, that feeling of culture, of Lebanese culture.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I love that. It was different from all, you got a little special little prize at the end.
Oh, thanks. That's fun.
The book covers. Did you have any input into the Drowning or Easiest Pie at Bobby's Diner?
I did. I had all the input in this one. I found this piece on iStock Photos, and I thought, I went through hundreds of photos and happened onto that and went, oh my goodness, that's it. I stopped looking, and that was it. It was just a done deal for me. For this one, no, I didn't. The publisher one has full reign on the art and didn't really need any they have their own artist and all of that.
So they
did.
Confirm.
Yeah, they did. They now not on the first one. That was done. It's funny. Can I talk a little bit about the process of Bobby's Diner?
A lot of people would love to hear that.
Okay, what happened with Bobby's Diner, and this is very good information for up-and-coming authors. I submitted like crazy Bobby's Diner, and after 5 months, it got picked up with a publishing company in Massachusetts. They did everything from the editing to the book cover design, all of that publishers are supposed to do. What they didn't have was very good distribution. So I took the contract back after about half of a year. I took the contract back and published it myself. I did it under False Bay Books and published Bobby's Diner, the original Bobby's Diner, myself. And from that point, a distributor, the book distributor that picked up Bobby's Diner to distribute, wanted to publish also, and he asked me if I would be interested in a three-book deal. So Bobby's Diner is not included in that contract. There are 3 books that follow. This is the second. The third is coming out in October, called Sacrifice at Sea, and then the final Bobby's Diner, the book in the Bobby's Diner series, will be coming out probably within the year following Sacrifice at Sea. However, the process is unusual from what people, beginning writers especially, expect the submission process, the publishing process to go. We have most of our rights. We can take them back usually. If something isn't being executed in our contract, we can definitely ask for our contracts back. Now, we don't want to be doing that all the time. Of course, we want to nurture a contract and to go through the process and get those books out and sold. That's the final step in the process of writing a book. So, but the traditional publishing route isn't always the way you'll go. Sometimes they'll go e-publishing. Sometimes they'll go serialized. It just is, it's all over the board right now. But even before e-books and all of the new online social sites and all of that started taking hold, publishing was still all our work and still something that we could, I just covered up the microphone, that we have control of to some degree. Now when it does, you need to make sure that in those contracts that that contract can revert back to you, the author, but authors have really the final say.
They do, and since you brought these up, which is very, very important, one of the reasons this show actually started 2 years ago is to bring information like what you're giving, Susan. I appreciate that.
Good.
I fell prey of a publishing company called Publish America. For anyone that's thinking about it, they think that it's a great company, I highly recommend that you go on the internet and check that out. Check out any publishing company that you get involved, before you get involved, actually.
Absolutely.
To make sure you got your rights and that you hear what other authors are saying about it. So that's very, very important. I'm glad you brought that in. How does someone get information about your classes and your website? And can you give us a little bit? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, for the classes and the appearances, I'm on booktour.com. But I also have the link to booktour.com and all of my up-and-coming appearances and events and workshops on my website, which is www.susanwingate.com, and that's where people can get in touch with me. In fact, this morning I couldn't sleep between 1 and 4 in the morning, which was fine because I can always work on my website at those hours. So I added a chat box, Meebo chat box. So anybody that wants to actually get in touch with me when I'm on Meebo, you can chat me up through my website. and that would be fun too. I love interaction with my readers.
And you have had a very rich life. You've also done radio shows in the past, too, up in Washington, correct?
Yes.
What was your experience like that?
It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Actually, the radio show that I'm doing presently is called Dialogue Between the Lines, and I co-host that show with Joshua Graham. He's a best-selling, award-winning author as well, and he's fabulous. He's very suspenseful and an amazing writer, and we have so much fun. It's a weekly show, Thursday mornings at 10 a.m., and it's on Blog Talk Radio. So that's blogtalkradio.com/dialogue, and you can get us there every Thursday morning at 10. Or, you can always go to the archives and just listen. You don't have to listen to the live show, but they are live, and they're so much fun.
So, Susan, do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share today with our audience and our viewers out there?
Well, I do have one final thought, and it's to you. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you inviting me.
Thank you.
This is an amazing honor. Well, thank you very much. And to today's author, and also to the Northwest Book Festival. I am so excited about that.
Yes, thank you.
And you got started on that how many years ago? 2 or 3 years?
3 years ago. This is our third book festival. So
that's so wonderful.
I'm looking forward to that.
It's such an effort that you're doing. I mean, the work involved is incredible. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
But what you're doing for the authors is so much more profound that you're...
Thank you.
Absolutely, it's wonderful. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
You are...
Thank you.
This is about the time for us to say bye-bye until our next Authors Forum. Have a most inspiring week. Thank you.
Thank you.